Hi, everybody. Here we're going over the quiz review for 9.1 and 9.3. Um, and yeah, we're going to do 13 and 14 in this video. So for 13, there we go. We're going to find z times w and z divided by w. So the two formulas we have are these guys. So z times w is r1 times r2. And that's r from z, and then r2 is from w. And then cosine of alpha 1 plus alpha. Oh, saying alpha, and I'm writing thetas. So that's fine. Those are thetas. Plus I sine theta 1 plus theta 2. Okay, so that's the multiplication one. And then the division one, just so we have it, follows suit very similarly. So R1 over R2 this time, and then the angles are subtracted. Okay. So there we go. There's the two formulas. So let's go ahead and do these guys. So ZW means I take this R and multiply them together. So 3 times 2 is 6. Then I'll leave it in polar form, cosine of, and now I'm adding the two angles. So 60 degrees plus 240 is 300 degrees. And then it's going to be I sine of the same thing. And there we go. It doesn't say to do anything more with ZW. It doesn't say to convert it or anything, so we can stop there. If it had asked us to put it in a different form, we could, but if it doesn't ask, why do it? All right, so then the other thing it does ask us to do, though, is to do Z divided by W. So take your R's, divide them. 3 divided by 2, and just leave it alone. And then cosine, and then we subtract the angles. Well, subtract them, and it's okay to get a negative angle. Okay, if you really want to, you can find a coterminal angle by adding 360 to these angles to make them positive, but negative 180 degrees is a perfectly accepted answer, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so then let's do part B. Part B, same exact thing, except we're in radians instead of degrees, so we're still doing the same steps though. So Z times W, you multiply your R's together, and then the angles you'll add. Now, this is where you might want to do a little work on the side. So 7 pi over 3 plus pi over 2. We need a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply by 2 to both things and multiply this by 3 to both things. So 14 pi over 6 plus 3 pi over 6. So I would get 17 pi over 6. And there we go. Okay, so there's Z divided by W, and then didn't mean to do that. That's okay. That was Z times W. Z divided by W. I would do 4 over 6, but you want to simplify that. So instead of 4 over 6, divide them both by 2, and you get 2/3. Okay, and now we're going to subtract. Nice thing is, though, we already have that common denominator work over here. We just have to subtract instead of add them. So it's going to be 14 minus 3, which is 11 pi over 6, plus I sine 11 pi over 6. Okay. One thing to remember, especially when you're dealing with radians, and we saw it with the R's here as well, remember to always reduce your fractions, right? So in this case, we couldn't, but it's always a step that people forget. Okay, so there was your Z times W and Z divided by W. So then for 14 is your answer from number 11 in polar complex or polar rectangular. We could have put them in both, in all 4 answers. So Z times W in A, Z times W in B, Z divided by W, and z divided by w in b. We could have put them in either form, but because they didn't ask us to go any farther, they didn't ask us to put in a specific form, stopping here is perfectly fine, and where we stopped was indeed polar, because cosine plus I sine is your polar form. Oh, and it's complex because, yeah. Oh, so yeah, that's a typo there. We'll fix that. That should say complex rectangular, or rectangular complex. But that's fine. It'll probably be fixed on your copy. So, all right, cool. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Next video will have the next couple.